feedback? What's in the roadmap for IT to do that?
Well, we just went through this last year an IT assessment.
Right, I have that.
And that, I think that really is.
I didn't see that. I didn't see it in there to have a one-stop shop with the IT assessment.
A one-stop shop for anybody that complain any kind of anything for anything to do with the city?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what most cities are moving toward.
575-8300, call the mayor's office.
I mean,
really, that's what
that's what it is now. But
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be online in a year or something. I just wonder what how the city's looking to address that. And the inside question I have to answer now.
Well, that would be something. I wish Don was here because being chief of staff and all the departments and he wrote out an IT assessment and everything. And I think that's a question for him in terms of what can we afford, where, you know.
I think it would be very, very supportive is if possibly the Telecommunication Board, in your role as an advisory board for those issues, might look at that, have some discussions, and come up with a recommendation for staff, for the chief of staff to maybe, here are our recommendations as the Citizen Advisory Board for telecommunications issues to establish this type of, this very specifically.
Resolution.
Yeah. Well, that was a call that Justin Tennant, when he was on the Telecom Board, made about 4 months ago. That said, he told the board, here's an IT assessment coming out. It sure looks like a grand opportunity for our board. So, but I don't know that it's gone anywhere there. And let me say, one thing that could help the staff as well of getting the agenda set early on. Not only can we help with the public getting that out there, occasionally the law or the processes or whatever also creates the opportunity or the requirement that the staff bring to the Telecom Board some things. So occasionally that happens, like right now, the education contract, which we're going to bring to the board. Kid has just drafted it, but from the staff perspective, we sure would like for y'all to get it ahead of time when your board meeting, so everybody has an opportunity to read things before y'all have a meeting.
Right.
Because in many ways,
And you don't want to spend your time in a board meeting trying to read and digest a document that might be 25 or 30 pages long.
This one's not.
And not have an opportunity.
But the reality is, we haven't had the last education contract with the PEG, wasn't signed. There technically wasn't one. So Kit working with...
The education channel?
Yeah, the education channel. Working with the school board, they have processes too that they need to bring before their school board. They would like it to hit before summer hits as well. And so the longer it might take telecom, essentially processes, things need to happen. So what you're doing is essentially cutting out your opportunity to.
Yeah, I think we need to receive like a packet before we receive it.
We do. It's just not in time.
Not in time to really.
Right, but actually in time to read it.
Let me address this. There are times that I receive things and assume they've gone on to the rest of the board, then find out they've not. And I think we had that last month. So I should not be addressed without addressing everybody on the board, is my suggestion. In other words, if you send me a document, if you're saying that we need on the agenda, that should go immediately out to everyone. And we should get it to the public as soon as we can. But I'm saying that sometimes I get email or whatever, and it has not gone out to them.
It would go from the staff out.
Right, not to me to send to them.
Right.
And
The email should be direct to everybody on the board.
That's what the packet's for.
The packet goes
Right,
to
but that's
To
staff.
put the packet together and send it to everybody on the board, and then they have all the
If we
elements
have a
of what
week to
they're
look
looking
at it, that's enough time.
But-
So if we have that, if we have a goal of having the agenda in place 2 Mondays preceding, then the staff has enough time to get it ready by the Thursday before our meeting to actually get it to the members of the board.
And you'll have a full 7 days before the meeting to review.
Because I can totally understand that it would take 3 or 4 days to put together a packet.
It can if we're chasing, and sometimes we have to chase stuff down. I mean, there might be something that is on the agenda that we really want to, that we want to include. We may not have everything, and we need to take, okay, there's pieces here and here, but it all needs to be brought together to a comprehensive whole and put together for that agenda item.
Which makes it good for the staff to send it out rather than you sending it directly to
No,
them.
yes.
You as chair
I should
send
not
it
be
to
emailing him
Fritz.
without
Right.
emailing.
Because it may change and then, you know, you're busy, work takes over, family and all that, and you don't want to even spend 30 minutes going, which one's the right agenda?
Yeah.
You know?
We take the staff takes the responsibility of once we receive an agenda, and once the agenda is finalized, there might be a situation where the chair, Aubrey, sends, here's the agenda. I might send an email back to him saying, hey, is it okay if we add this item to it?
Okay, well, let's
That's the
clarify
collaboration.
that at this point too. I think traditionally the staff members, that's part of the input. If there's a report that needs to go forward, I don't think you have to ask the chairman. You insert it for the chairman to, and the others to see. And if the board chooses not to consider it for some reason as a group, then they wouldn't. But
So as
we're not going to deny, I can't imagine a board chairman or the board denying to actually consider something from the staff. So,
Okay.
so that should go forward to everyone, and when you know it's going to be on there. And simultaneously, the agenda really is a reflection of compilation of just simply a list of what's going to be on there. And the package you're doing
Right.
is the critical work,
yeah.
and others don't have access to all of it.
So what we need to do is get some discussion going about 15 days in advance of the meeting. And we do this at the end of our regular board meetings. What's something that needs to be on there next time? Like last meeting, I had a report of the subcommittee, and I'm not going to be there, but I'll shoot an email out.
One of you guys could please present
Yeah, somebody could just give a short
on this
report.
meeting to the board.
But if you know 15 days in advance what else needs to be on there, and have an agenda, a finalized agenda ready to give to Fritz 10 days before the meeting, the 2 Mondays before. I think that's our final agenda. You prepare the packet, and if anything comes up in the next 10 days, feel free to email us and say, hey, this just came up. You might want to consider it this meeting, and we can add it to the agenda at the very beginning.
Or the other question is, if there's an item that comes up, okay, I get the agenda from the chair 10 days before. Okay, we're putting the packet together. On the next afternoon, something comes in that I think is really important. Maybe it's a complaint, maybe it's some other document that we hadn't gotten prepared yet, but all of a sudden, hey, this came in, it's good to go. Board should have a chance to look at it. If it's okay with the board and the chair, I can just add that to the agenda, put the information in there, because I think at the beginning of every meeting, you approve the agenda anyway, and if you saw that in there before, I'm saying before I distributed it.
Oh, yeah. I think
So we don't have to get into a big back and forth. I think that's what I was hearing Aubrey say. We don't have to get into a big back and forth of, oh yeah, add this, no, don't add that.
Yeah, that's entirely appropriate under our administrative rules.
Okay.
I think.
Well, good. We just need to back up getting that agenda earlier then, and we'll make that happen. I think that's great.
Anything else?
Since it's the first meeting, sometimes I have found in the mayor's office taking a lot of calls coming in, routing them to different places. Sometimes it might be multi-departmental. Some people who call in, citizens, I'll just say citizens who call in aren't comfortable saying whether it's a complaint or not. They says, well, I'm not complaining, I just have a suggestion. And if we always deal with telecom being this, like there's always controversy, always a complaint, there are some people who really want to contribute. But if you buttonhole them into, if you're going to make a suggestion, you're complaining, you're going to lose a lot of good comments. Now, I don't know if that's on the agenda. Or it could be feedback, or it could be complaints, suggestions, you know.
I think just put that, just put that in the
But
recommendation that you guys have, whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like what we did in the
Well, we combined it.
agenda.
Well,
We
we-
changed it from complaint suggestions, et cetera, to citizen comment period or something like that.
We got a national award for our website, and you know, the way we changed that website was pretty much 100% citizen feedback. Saying, we want it to do this, and we did it,
Yeah. Great.
and they were right.
Imagine, the citizens actually know what they want. We usually don't like that, so the
It's
customers.
interesting. I had a real conversation with my staff this morning, staff meeting, talking about that very thing, that, you know, expressing to them that our viewership is very sophisticated. And they do understand a lot of stuff. So.
All right, thanks. I guess we'll look forward to
I'll work on that.
your report.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, then